Let me ask you something right off the bat. And, oh yeah, by the way, ship updates, yada yada yada. Do you believe in like ghosts or the paranormal or anything like that? One of my favorite movies when I was growing up was the original Poltergeist. Loved that movie. I accidentally saw it when I was a toddler, and let's just say it left a mark. But I've loved, those types of movies ever since, to a certain degree. And, with these hauntings, it always seems to work like there's little hints along the way, and as things go, they get more and more pronounced. Well, lately we've been getting the same phenomenon in Star Citizen. A certain ghost has been appearing over and over and over, reminding us of something from years and years ago. Usually it's a tragic event, but in this case it was a ship sail going all the way back to November 28th, 2014. The Anvil Carrack is finally here. Every time, I see this ship, it looks great. It looks fantastic, and it looks like such a well done ship. I have to say it. As they gave us this extended tour of the interior on Thursday, I was very, very impressed. Even more so when they talked about the turrets. When they talked about the turrets on the ship, and then we realized from CitizenCon, that the turrets were very hard to aim. They didn't stick out far enough, so we changed that. We made them stick out farther. I mean, that's one of the things that, I love to hear from CIG. It's like, yeah, we realize there's an issue, and here are the steps that we took to correct it. I'm not so much of a fan of, yeah, we know there's an issue, and we're going to do something someday, somewhere. This is like, no, there was a very real problem here, and we handled it. Which, is also a reminder to the rest of us that, no ship in Star Citizen, as you currently play it in the game right now, is final. There are going to be changes, and there are going to be tweaks needed for every single ship. So once again, get your voice heard. Go play the game, try things out, and say, hey, you know what? I think this is a little bit messed up here, or, oh, this probably should be moved a little bit this way because it makes it hard to get in through this door. Things like that. If you're going to argue color scheme, probably not that important. Can wait. But, broadly, I have to say, I'm very impressed with this ship. Very, very impressed. And the Carrack has always been one of those ships that, to me, it's not something that I plan to own ever, but it is definitely something that I'm very impressed by. It's kind of, in a weird way, it's kind of like the Idris and the Javelin to me. It's not something that I really want, but it's something that from time to time I do feel a certain amount of envy towards. I have to admit it. Even, when I see, my footage of when I was fighting with the Reclaimer recently and all the guns blazing, when I saw that, I was just like, man, imagine a Javelin with all guns blazing. That's got to be one hell of a sight to see. When they finally get that ship in game, it's going to be pretty amazing. And the Carrack has been a similar type of ship in my mind. I've always found it to be not something that appeals to my playstyle, but something that I even though it's not really geared towards me, it's something that I am very impressed by. It has always been a very impressive ship. Of course, designed by Gurmukh Basine, the same guy who designed the Vanguard. But, we'll give him a pass on that one because he did give us the Carrack, and the Carrack is a pretty damn good ship. And certainly in the future, as we expand on into other star systems, the Carrack, I think, is really going to prove its mettle. As it, as we get to the point where we can actually have things like exploration, where ships with long range cargo carrying capacity, the capacity to carry even a smaller ship upon them, like with the Pisces, I think you're really going to start to see the real value of ships like this. I've always kind of cautioned people, and I've said, don't concentrate too much on fighters. Star Citizen's doing that already. Look towards the bigger ships, because that's where I think you're really going to get your money's worth in the future. And I think that, honestly, the Carrack has always been good value for the money. comparatively speaking, to other ships. And I think that when this ship is finally released and in the hands of players, and it has a decent sized arena to play in, you're going to see a lot of very pleased people with this ship. Now, let's look at it under a bit of a harsher light and look at the reality of it. Remember, you're talking to a Reclaimer owner. Are you getting a ship that is essentially a dead ship like the Reclaimer in Star Citizen? I don't think so. I think that the Carrack is going to be overall in a better place when it arrives compared to the Reclaimer. The Reclaimer, its central purpose is salvage, right? And as such, the Reclaimer really has no purpose in the Star Citizen universe. We've heard rumblings time and time again that salvage is coming, but we'll believe it when we see it, right? Arguably, because the Carrack isn't so niche focused as the Reclaimer, I think that it starts off in a better position, and as the game develops, as we go to Pyro, as we go, as the universe expands, as it, invariably will, I think that you're going to get more and more use and more mileage out of the Carrack and a lot more enjoyment out of owning it. So I think that overall, I think the Carrack is going to develop with the universe, kind of almost in a bit of a lockstep. As the universe goes further, more and more doors are going to open up for the Carrack. And I think that it's in a better position than something like a Reclaimer for player enjoyment as the universe develops. The Reclaimer, more or less, until salvage arrives, is essentially a dead ship. So I think that overall the Carrack, with a little bit more access to landing pads, or a broader access to landing pads, I think would be a better way of saying it, is in a better position to enjoy as the game expands. Yes, you are going to get a ship without exploration, without drones, and without a lot of things, but you are getting cargo capacity. You are going to get a fair amount of mobility, something that, once again, I think it'll be roughly Caterpillar-esque in its mobility. I think as the game develops, the Carrack is going to be right there with it, and you're going to get more and more enjoyment out of it. It's not locked behind this, one career where this is all that it can do, and until that career arrives, it's a dead ship. I think people are going to enjoy it, and they're going to take it out there and they're going to use it for their ground vehicles when they do ground missions and things like that. I think as the game broadens, the ship's use will broaden as well, but I think it's in a good place to be enjoyed in the current version of Star Citizen, so long as when the patch comes that releases the Carrack into the game, it also comes with a broad array of fixes for the dumpster fire that is 3.8 point whatever we're on at this point. Squeeze in some fixes for the rest of us. But yeah, the Carrack owners, definitely a little bit of envy there, and I think that they're going to be pleasantly pleased with their ship, and I think it meshes better with the current version of the game than the Reclaimer ever did. So it's been a long wait, 6 long years, and I hope, as when you get it, at least partially, it was worth it, and as the game develops, I think you're really going to see the value out of the ship that you originally bought. Anyways, that's the show for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. So if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42's development, please follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.